this video, we are going to show how to mass check-in students through the process that we call batch clock-ins in PowerSchool. This has been a much requested feature to have, and we now have it available to you. Let me start out by saying this video should be used for training purposes only, that no real students or data will be shown in this video, as we use a sandbox server full of fake students and fake information, and any likeness to any real student is purely coincidental. So now when you are in a school setting, there is under the attendance menu a new option called batch clock in. So think of in the morning, if you have 5 students in front of you that are all trying to, check in tardy because they came in 10 minutes after the bell and you want to get them all in pretty quickly. In the past, you would have to go and search each individual student and process a clock in on each individual record. Well, now we have the capability that we can do it all throughout them, one student at a time. I will say this is the first iteration of this, so there will be more updates that will make this even more user-friendly as we go along, but we want to go ahead and get it in front of you in the state that it currently is. Now, in order to use batch clock in, you must have your students selected on this screen on the main menu. Now, there are multiple ways to do this. You can do searches for them if you have them, in a spreadsheet. Some people have students who sign in through QR codes and it can feed to a spreadsheet. And if you have something like that, you can easily grab the student numbers through multi-select and grab them all at one time. Or you could simply search for them. So if I have students, I'm just going to type some names. So I'm going to grab this Smith student. I'm going to grab, let's just go find a few, Davis and this student right here. So let's say I have these 3 students who are all in front of me and they need to check in at 8:30 because they all came in late. Once I have those students selected, I can come to attendance, I can come to batch clock in, and then I have my options. Now, we will eventually get to a batch clock out as well, but we're taking these one step at a time to really refine these processes. So right now, your option is going to be to choose a clock in. So we're going to say the date is today 9/4, and we are going to check them in at, let's pretend it is a little bit later in the morning, 8:30. So the first option you're going to have is attendance code. What do you want to go into the attendance code for the period they are clocking in for? So this is first period, which means I need them to be tardy and, excused or unexcused inside of there. And then subsequent codes. So what do you want to fill in the rest of the codes? So think of it as if teachers had already taken attendance and they had already marked all the students absent for all the periods, because, when they take it in first period, it's going to fill that in for all the other periods. You want those to now flip back to presents because the student's going to be here. So I can choose that subsequent period here to now be present. Now, this enable quick mode. Right now, no is the only option you have. This is going to allow the program to go through the student records one at a time in case you needed to adjust the time, because not everybody comes in at the exact same minute. This is what we're going to be doing now. Later on, when we do enable quick mode, it will allow us to go through all the files at one time and you not have to click through student by student. So for right now, we do have just no as the option for quick mode because we want it to cycle through each one of these. So I'm going to now choose execute, and it is going to start loading. Now I will say this does take just a few seconds, so we're going to wait through it. And it basically fills in all this information. So we know, yes, let's say that Brooklyn did come in at 8:30, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. It's going to route to the next student. Pops all that information in there. If the time is exactly the same, then yes, I can leave that at 8:30 and then save it. But maybe he came in at 8:30 too, so all I really have to do here is update the 32 and hit save. So it gives you kind of a template sort of to go through each one of the students, and you can adjust on each individual student record as needed with that quick mode turned off. When we eventually turn that quick mode on, you won't see this screen right here. It will just process whatever you put on that main screen to all 3 of these. So I'm going to say this one is 8:30 and leave that there and hit save. So it has processed all 3 of the check-in check-outs, but now we must submit this screen so that it will perform the daily attendance calculation for each one of these students. So when I hit submit, It then tells me that, yep, all of these, now let's pretend that these had been unexcused absences. These kids didn't have anything on them because I'm using this just as a test, but they would have all had unexcused and they're all being flipped to tardy, which is what they should be at this point in time. So I'm now going to hit submit so that it now updates the daily record for each one of those students. So batch clock in is now available for you to use in your servers.